posted some vlogs documenting parts of the whole COVID-19 outbreak starting in January when I was in the Bay Area, and these cases just came out up until New York the day that I found out the first case of corona had hit New York. I wanted to share 1 year out of postgrad as a short-term New Yorker, how I've personally been affected by COVID-19, and then also like kind of how I've been dealing with it and the aftermath of it since the outbreak in New York. I know it's really hard for college students out there right now, but for postgrads similar to me and my year out of college, it's also been difficult. Everything kind of slowed down and came to a stop, or at least a halt. Let's rewind a bit. I recently graduated from UCLA in June 2019. For the most part of college, it had always been my dream to go to New York. I wanted to be a New Yorker and I wanted to live in New York for a year. And I finally made that happen. So I signed a lease for a nice apartment in Midtown New York that my salary covered for a 12-month lease starting in July. I moved into my apartment in New York, started training for my corporate finance/sales job. Up until January, work had been very difficult for me, partly just adjusting to a new city. So two other big aspects were transitioning from college into the working life so quickly. It was also the work itself and the pace of a New York corporate business. You know, I loved it though. I was really enjoying New York from September until January. The weather was cold and rainy and snowy. Come February, the weather was finally starting to turn around. Everyone in New York could feel the springtime in the air, and right around then was when the COVID-19 virus started to hit New York. Sister is texting me that coronavirus has hit Manhattan. I don't really know how worried we should be for it. I should have known that things would get bad really quickly. The week that it hit New York, it was me and my boyfriend's 1 year anniversary, so we had planned a weekend trip. I packed a weekend bag to go to the Poconos, which I also have in a vlog up here. That's where it started hitting the fan. My bus back to New York got canceled and they shut down their operations. My boyfriend offered to drive me back to New York. My sister is an NYU freshman and she also ended up going home very quickly. And then I got the notification that New York was having a mandatory stay in place, shelter in place. So that's when we decided that I would go with my boyfriend to stay with his family. We picked up my stuff from New York and went straight to his house. So the last time I stepped foot in my apartment in New York was almost a month and a half ago. I had left New York when coronavirus had just hit it, not really expecting how crazy it would get. I was there through the winter of New York, the grunt training, ramping up to the curve of New York, and then I left New York just as spring and summer, and all the rewards of my hard work in New York were coming to fruition. My lease is ending soon, but I'm still paying the rent for that apartment in New York, which is very expensive, so that's not ideal either. I will have to go back to New York before the end of my lease to move everything out of my apartment, and then at that point I'm gonna move home to California to shelter with my family. I just choose to see it sort of in a humorous light. I'm definitely very grateful because my situation is still relatively not as impacted as many others out there, so I'm definitely grateful for that. But at the same time, part of that is me feeling like I do have a pretty good grasp about what's going on these days. I have felt relatively at peace with the situation. So I wanted to share a sort of candid snapshot of what my life is actually looking like these days. That's a bit more in-depth than a vlog, but I'll be posting one later this week, so keep your eyes out for that. In terms of my life now and for the past month, I have a routine. My boyfriend and I have the same work schedule. We eat most meals together with everyone in the house. Cooking check? No. So my boyfriend's mom actually cooks most of the meals. She makes really yummy stuff. That's an interesting change in my life. So no, I'm not cooking these days, but I am eating like a more consistent breakfast, lunch, dinner meal routine. Coffee check? Yes. I am still drinking coffee every day. There hasn't been too much change in my coffee habits. Exercise? I have not been exercising or working out at home. Every once in a while we will go out around the neighborhood for walks, which are about an hour long, and that's that in terms of exercise. Social media and screen time, I have been cutting down and not being too active on. I am limiting my social media time, forcing me to be present more. Journal check, yes. I started my journal the first day that I moved to New York, and I actually finished this journal. I have started a new journal, so yes, journal check, yes. One really interesting thing that I picked up during quarantine is actually tarot cards. So if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I'm kind of dorky about astrology. During quarantine, there was one day where I started getting kind of curious about tarot. So I'd been looking through Amazon. I was considering buying my own tarot deck, and then literally 10 minutes later, we went to our room, and then I saw this on the bookshelf, and it just sort of was there. My boyfriend offered to let me have them. So yeah, that's like one random thing. It's like a new hobby that I've picked up. A new hobby check, there's that. In terms of entertainment, I'm not a big TV show watcher, but recently I've started watching more and I've gotten back into some K-dramas. I've been watching Itaewon Class and Crash Landing on You, and they're both very good, so I'd recommend it if you like K-dramas or just want to explore a new genre of television. My boyfriend and I also watch comedy stand-up shows on TV. A lot of comedians make fun of astrology, so I kind of get a kick out of that too. So for relationships, I keep in touch with my sister every day. I have also been, especially in these past couple of weeks, FaceTiming friends more. With my friends, we've been up to some kind of fun things. Like the other night, I drank wine and had a really intense online chess game with one of my friends, and me and another friend are doing a book club. Definitely ways that you can make it as fun as possible and kind of have like a silver lining in this. My sister's birthday was also recently, so I made her a fun little collage, and you can watch her birthday vlog up here. My boyfriend got a Switch and Animal Crossing. Okay, I want to show you guys my character. She is so cute. I buy clothes for her like every day. Shopping addiction has finally found its peace within the Able Sisters store. My boyfriend does most of the island landscaping, and I'm just focused on my house and my character, but the island be looking beautiful. She's so cute and like so COVID-19 conscious. She's even wearing a little face mask right there. As scary and terrifying as it is, it's not every day or every generation that society gets to live through a historic event like this, and I'm just doing what I need to do, but also not expecting that everything's going to be perfect, and I'm not taking this as a time to fight against time or anything. I'm really just trying to enjoy my day as much as I can, and that's been working for me. As we move forward with future videos on lifestyle things, I wanted to take this quick intermission to share and just be really open about how I've personally been affected by COVID-19. For tips on actually being productive during quarantine, check out my friend Dominique's video, which I collaborated on with a couple of other YouTubers, sharing tips on staying productive. Be sure to look out for my vlog, which is coming up in a few days, on what my weekdays and weekends actually look like. Let me know if you're doing any of these activities as well in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and listening to my story time about COVID-19. Stay safe out there, everyone, and I'll see you soon.